So I am back with an update from my weight loss journey for this week. Now, I have altogether, so from the beginning of the year until now, I have officially lost 6 kilos. Now, the line for this isn't a straightforward line. The process of it was not a straightforward process so far. Now, what I want to focus on is essentially what I learned when I experienced a setback in my weight loss journey. And because I think that it's very important that we always learn from our mistakes, and the expectation that we have on each other, or that I definitely had on myself, that, I'm just gonna wake up one day and I'm gonna have this completely different mindset and I'm never gonna look back again. It's completely not true, and it's not something that I have to necessarily look down upon and run away from. At the end of the day, we are who we are, and we want to be a better version of us, not to be someone who is completely different. Unless, I don't know, you're a really bad person, maybe then you want to be a completely new version of you. But so I'll start with essentially what I learned this past week, trying to get back on track after experiencing a pretty serious setback where I was eating chocolates every day. So I was eating like chocolates every day for a week maybe. But like not one chocolate, I was eating chocolates. Very bad. But I wasn't really eating a lot of other stuff. So I was mainly sustaining myself with chocolates, which isn't great for anyone. I mean, it's just not healthy. I wasn't feeling well. I felt, I couldn't go to the bathroom normally. It's all these things. But anyway, we'll get into what I learned in trying to get back on track and getting back on track, essentially. So I'm going to start with the physical side, and then I'm going to go to the mental side. Now, there was something that triggered my, let's say, physical setback as well, and I think it happens a lot. When you're doing something different and you're looking for guidance, you end up receiving unsolicited guidance, and it's nothing bad. It's people are always trying to help, and when it's someone that it's your friend or someone that you trust and you think that they're doing well, you take that guidance on. Now, that is a very good thing, and it's a process of learning. Now, the thing that you have to keep in mind is that you are you, and someone else is a different person. So I was losing weight quite drastically, but all I was doing was calorie counting. So I was just restricting. So it wasn't even, I was just recording all of my calories on my phone, and I was exercising, and I was making sure that what I'm eating on calories, it's calories in, calories out, and I was burning more than what I was eating. Now, I was speaking to someone who is a good friend, and I know that he's very he's older and he's very physically healthy. So I was talking to someone who is very close to me, and he was talking to me oh, this is so great that you're doing this, and you're gonna feel so amazing. And of course, it was all with the best intentions, but he was telling me people aren't a tube, so necessarily calories in, calories out isn't the best way forward. So you should try. So what I do is the keto diet, and it's really good, and it's essentially making your body burn on ketosis. And so I've sort of experimented with fasting long periods of time before, and it is true that when you're in a fasting stage and you're running on ketones, you feel really, 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 really amazing. I mean, it's almost you feel like you're the high. So I thought, okay, so let's try the keto diet, because it definitely sounds like something that I could really benefit from, and I was really looking forward to it. Now, the thing is, I feel and I was also looking it up online. So the keto diet isn't a solution that you can just eat copious amounts of food there still definitely is, so you're going to be burning more than your body would have normally been burning by like, they're saying online it's roughly about 200 calories. Now online they always overestimate everything, but yeah, it's 100% that you will be burning more and your body will be more efficient. But it's not like you're not going to be burning 1000 calories more per day just because you're eating fats and protein. Well, I don't know, for some people maybe. For me personally, it's a very, very difficult for me to stick to that. And I was like, started changing my diet quite a bit to kind of fit in the keto side. And the other thing is, with the keto diet, your foods are very high in calories, so it was very easy for me to overeat. So whereas before I would maybe have like my rice cakes and some fruit for breakfast, well, both rice cakes and fruit are no on the keto diet. So I was kind of having to replace it with either an omelette or an omelette with like veggies and cheese. But that of course takes more time than like preparing my rice cake and cutting up some fruit. So I would just end up eating like cheese. I would just cut cheese whilst I'm working. So I was a little bit overdoing it with the cheese, and also I'm not like a meat eater, so I'll eat fish, but I don't eat like red meat, or I don't eat chicken. So I was basically eating dairy, fish, and I had to cut out a lot of like vegetables and fruits. So I think this is the one thing that I don't really like about the keto diet, is I like vegetables, like all sorts. And with the keto diet, it's like you're restricting also like potatoes and carrots. And I'm not saying that you should only be eating potatoes, but when you're doing like your veggies, and if you like potatoes, I don't see anything wrong with like having a couple of potatoes there. But it will of course not help with getting on the keto diet. It's also online, of course, you find a lot of information. Let's say if you want to get a coffee with friends, actually there is, even if you're getting something which is with a milk which is keto approved, like almond or coconut milk, the likelihood is that the coffee you're getting from like Nero or Costa Coffee, it's still gonna have maybe like 14 grams of carbs. So this option was out the window for me as well. Any of the ready-made coffees weren't an option, and I started really struggling. And then because I didn't really feel satisfied in whatever I was eating, I would just end up eating more. And so that was definitely a setback for me. Now again, I don't even know if I necessarily put on weight. I just remember struggling a lot mentally through that time, and it kind of just sends you a little bit off the rails, because honestly, if you're struggling and you're not enjoying the food that you're eating, and you're having to like Google every single thing that you eat, it can get very stressful, and you need your mind to be occupied with other stuff. And so this was the start of my downfall. So I was occupied with that, and then I had all of the issues that started in my life that I talked about in my previous video, and I could not find the energy to spend on kind of cutting keto to this extent. So I couldn't find the energy to be like just thinking about, is this food keto, is this food not keto, because I had like this and this, like many problems. And so then having to think about keto and not keto, I was struggling. Now, and again, this is me, and I know, for my friend, for example, that basically just lives on keto, it's worked out great for him. He is in great shape. He's very healthy. It's for me, so far it didn't work. Maybe one day it will work. I'm not knocking it out at all. I can see that it's got some great results for people. I'm struggling with it right now at this stage of my life. It's not the right diet for me. Now, for me, it works to watch my calories, mainly like I think replacing foods that you eat normally with like lower calorie options. This seems to be working the best for me. So instead of like having toast in the morning, have some rice cakes with cream cheese and some salmon. This works really, really well for me. And of course, moving. I think moving is a huge thing, and it's not just a matter of exercising at the gym. It's a matter of moving. So it's like organizing your home, taking a walk in the morning, doing some other activity that like just gets you moving. It's honestly, it adds up and it makes a huge difference, I think, at the end of the day. But in terms of food, yeah, so it's not even strict measuring and calorie counting. It's replacing what I eat normally with low calorie options. It worked really well for me, and it's continuing to still work. Now, from the mental element, I think setbacks are something that has always, like, I almost fear it, because I know that with me it's like I'm doing really, really well, and then as soon as there is a setback, I am done. I am like, because I just, instead of focusing on the, let's say, 3 weeks that I've had good results, I can only focus on the last, let's say, day or 2 days that I was just like sitting at home eating, and I just see the setback rather than the results. So this time, luckily, it actually worked out really well, because I had just so many people in my life tell me like how much weight I've lost, and so in my head, honestly, I was thinking, what's the point? Because I felt like as soon as I came back to Cyprus, all of the weight that I lost in France, I honestly thought I've put it back on. But then I had so many people tell me like, oh my God, you look so well, like you've lost so much weight, like you look really, really well. And so I was thinking, okay, so that means that there is still quite a lot of progress that I have made for the time that I was away. And if I start now, maybe I have taken a setback. But if I start now again from this level that I am at now, it's a better point than I was, let's say, in the beginning of the year. And so that kind of really helped me get motivated to get back on track. And I feel like also with manifestation training and learning more about how you are as a person, I think it helps to just get motivated, because the thing is I've known my triggers for a while, and I'm happy to do a video on that, like how you can, because I think a lot of times you don't know your triggers, and there were some that when I started doing the exercises that I was doing, I didn't know my triggers. So it's very important if you're an emotional eater like me. So it is my favorite thing to do. I can be completely full. If I'm stressed about something, I will be eating. This is just how I work. I can be like so full, I'm like about to throw up, but I'm upset about something, I'm gonna eat. It's horrible. Now, another thing that I felt has definitely helped me emotionally get back on track is going to therapy. So I was in couples counseling with my partner for a while. We stopped whilst we were away. Now we are back at it. And I think that's definitely helped clear some stuff out. And I am also starting individual therapy now, which is something that I am looking forward to, but not really. Of course, it's a scary thing, but I honestly think that it will help me make amazing leaps and bounds. Like I've been researching about rapid resolution therapy, and with rapid resolution therapy, I was listening to one podcast again on Catherine Zinkine's Manifestation Babe podcast, where she was interviewing one of the founders of rapid resolution therapy. And they were discussing essentially that, you know, you can be very self-aware, but you still need that extra outside help, essentially. You know, even if you're a very good hairdresser, you still need someone else to do your hair. If you're good at giving massages, you still need someone else to give you a back rub, because there's some blind spots, there's some things that you cannot physically see, essentially, if we're talking about a haircut. But there's some blind spots that you have in your mind that you cannot see. That was the remote, yes. So that is something that I found incredibly interesting, and it's kind of motivated me to really, really get back on track. And I am looking forward to essentially getting where I want to get, and I am sure we will get there.